Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Woman perishes after car bursts into flames in Intrelloni crash. An unidentified woman died after the motor vehicle she was driving burst into flames shortly after colliding head-on with another vehicle on Duncan's Bypass Road in Trelawney on Tuesday morning. According to a motorist who claimed to be an eyewitness, shortly after 7 a.m., the unidentified woman who was driving towards Falmouth lost control of the vehicle, which veered into the path of an oncoming motor car, with which it collided. The vehicle driven by the unidentified woman reportedly burst into flames, which quickly engulfed the car before help could reach her. The female driver of the other vehicle involved in the crash was taken to hospital for treatment to injuries she sustained. The Trelawney police are investigating. Governor General released from hospital. Governor General Sir Patrick Allen has been released from hospital. In a statement Monday night, King's House said Allen was taken to the University Hospital of the West Indies on Monday after feeling unwell and was subsequently examined and released later that day. His Excellency and Lady Allen conveyed their sincere appreciation to all for the many expressions of care and concern, this statement read. The media house broke the news that Sir Patrick Allen, Governor General 71, has been admitted to the hospital for observation. The Governor General resumed official duties on Tuesday, February 22. Prayers requested for Tommie Lee Sporter. The management team of Tommie Lee Sporter has requested prayers for the artist who remains hospitalized. Tommie Lee Sporter was injured during an altercation with correctional officers on the Tower Street Adult Correctional Center in downtown Kingston on Monday and received numerous injuries. In an Instagram post on Monday, the artist team thanked fans for their continued support. This is to inform all supporters, friends, family, and fans that we are aware of the situation with our dear family member and client, Leroy Jr. Russell, PKA Tommie Lee Sporter. We are monitoring everything very closely. We truly appreciate all your prayers and positive vibration energy for his speedy recovery, the post read. The comment section under the post was filled with the clap hands emoji as fellow entertainers and fans poured out support for the artist. Among them was dancehall artist Ritical, who narrowly escaped prison time after he was freed of gun charges earlier this month. Yo, my brother, me heart cry me G. You have a good fam, prior, Ritical commented. Artist manager Ramesh Major, popular selector Tony Matarand, and artist Beanie Man and Samantha G also shared support for the DJ. In a release on Monday night, the Department of Correctional Services said that reports received from the acting superintendent on duty are that Tommie Lee Sporter refused to re-enter his cell following the distribution of breakfast. Upon repeat of the command, the inmate hurled his breakfast at the staff officer in retaliation. He was subdued by the officer, and both parties received injuries. The inmate was taken to the medical orderly on the compound of the institution for examination and later transferred to the public hospital for further treatment, the statement read. An investigation has reportedly been launched. Tommie Lee Sporter has been incarcerated for over a year after he pleaded guilty to illegal possession of a firearm and ammunition in March 2021. He was sentenced to 3 years in prison. Woman becomes third road fatality in St. James in 24 hours. A woman succumbed to injuries she sustained during a motor vehicle collision along the Dumfries Main Road in St. James on Monday night, capping off a turbulent 24-hour period for the parish as it relates to fatal accidents. The woman has been identified as 40-year-old Alisa Simmet, a resident of Watson Town in the parish. Simmet died after the motorcycle she was traveling in collided with a Toyota Corolla motor car. Reports are that about 7:50 p.m., Simmet, who was a pillion on the motorcycle, which was being operated as a taxi, was traveling towards Watson Town when both vehicles collided. The two people on the motorcycle were thrown from the cycle and hit the car before hitting a nearby wall. Both individuals suffered serious injuries. They were both taken to hospital, where Simmet succumbed to her injuries, while the driver has been admitted in serious condition. The lone occupant of the motor car was not injured. Simmet's death followed that of 12-year-old Jeff Fitzgerald, a student of Spot Valley High School, who died after he was hit by a motor car along the Lilliput Main Road on Monday morning as he attempted to cross the road. Just a few hours earlier, a man lost his life in a similar fashion along the Coral Gardens Main Road. He was identified as 59-year-old Ambrose Service, who died after succumbing to injuries he received when he was hit by a car. Deadly dash. Howard Fitzgerald was inconsolable on Monday. He had lost his 12-year-old son, Jeff Anthony Fitzgerald, in the very manner he had tried to prevent. The 7th grade student at Spot Valley High School in St. James, who was in the company of his older brother, was hit by a motor car after he dashed across the usual busy Lilliput Road to catch a taxi on his way to school. He was rushed to Falmouth Public General Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. He didn't want the child to cross the road. He told the child, "Jeff, do not cross the road. You don't need to cross the road, even when he is going to come back to pick him up later after school. He parked on the other side, walk over and gets him over." He did his best to protect the child, Paul Oriel, pastor at Mission Apostolic Outreach Ministry in Lilliput, reported. He is the breadwinner. He has 3 more children to care for, the clergyman shared, as he sought to comfort bereaved members of the Fitzgerald's family at the hospital. The boy's aunt, Simone Ferguson, gave a similar account of the instruction Howard Fitzgerald issued to his son. He goes to Spot Valley, so the father told him to stay on his side of the road because he don't need to go over to the other side. Even in the evenings, he said he told him to stay on this side where he is on, and he will come pick him up, Ferguson said, adding that she was about to leave home for work when she got the call about the tragedy. Ferguson and Pastor Oriel reported that the father broke down at the hospital and had to get medical treatment. It is very hard. Sometimes it seems him a take it like him not go make it. Him just a squeeze up himself. Me don't know. It don't look good. It don't look good at all, Ferguson said, adding that Jeff's 3 siblings are also devastated. They are not taking it good, especially the bigger brother that was there with him. The brother said him never tell him to go across the road. Him don't know why him crossed the road, she said. All my parents not taking it good because we just buried my 19-year-old niece in November. It's just not easy on the family. It not easy at all, she cried. Pastor Oriel noted that the father, who was a deacon in the church, had stopped attending but had returned just 2 weeks ago. In fact, Fitzgerald and his children were in church on Sunday this week. They grew up in the church. Jeff was very quiet and nice young man. We just had to pray for the family, especially for the father. He is taking it very hard. The father is a very caring father, a father who cares for his family, so that's why it's so hurtful for him, the clergyman said. Meanwhile, residents who gathered nearby the scene on Monday morning's fatal accident appealed for the authorities to erect a stoplight in the vicinity of the Bamboo Lawn intersection. Over the years, a lot of people dead here, so we need a stoplight to end all the accidents that are happening here. Several Pekini from off the hill them dead right here, so we need a stoplight and the government need to look through this and install a stoplight, said Vinroy Bonnie, who has lived in Lilliput for the past 27 years. Calvin Robinson, a resident of the community for 33 years, and who has been operating a taxi for more than 20 years, cited the need for a stoplight not only at the Bamboo Lawn intersection, but at the Bob Main Hill section of the community as well. We need another stoplight down by the center. A lot of accidents happen because we don't have no light. You can be turning and manna overtake sometime. A lot of people miss it dead down there, and we need a stoplight down there, Robinson stated. Speaker relief after court throws out illegal dumping charge. House Speaker Marissa Dalrymple Filbert and her 2 co-accused are set to be relieved after hearing a judge's ruling that freed them of a charge of illegal dumping brought under the National Solid Waste Management Act. In handing down the ruling Monday afternoon in the St. Anne Parish Court, Parish Judge Lorona Montague Williams upheld a no-case submission made by defense lawyer Peter Champagny. The judge said she could not find the 3 guilty because they did not leave the garbage at the site along Salem Road in Runaway Bay, St. Anne, shortly after noon on August 15 last year. Section 46(1) of the Act, which the 3 were accused of breaching, reads, "A person commits an offense if he throws, drops or otherwise deposits, and leaves any litter in any public place. The prosecution's two police witnesses admitted that the defendants complied when they instructed them to pick up the garbage that they had unloaded from a motor truck. In handing down the ruling, the judge said the defendants were fortunate that the cops told them to remove the garbage and that they did not disobey the order. Your action on the day prevented the commission of an offense, the judge told Constable Howard Phillips of the Runaway Bay Police Station. The other prosecution witness was District Constable Dwayne Osprey. The prosecution, in the meantime, seemed discombobulated during the court session as it groped about the supporting arguments despite being repeatedly guided that the gravamen of the case was whether the garbage was left at the site. It went as far as to call Constable Phillips to take the witness stand, but ended up mainly posing questions already answered in statements that were admitted into evidence by oral agreement. The prosecution eventually closed, but not before it crumbled in open court. The matter was one of public service announcement value, the judge said, eliciting laughter from some court insiders. She explained that the case, being widely publicized in the press, would have alerted the public party about the vigilance of the St. Anne police and their adherence to what they consider to be illegal dumping. At the end of the case, Champagny noted that it was still not brought out in court whether dumping is prohibited at the site in question. That has not really been settled, and certainly, from what we heard in the court, there was no evidence to suggest that that was an official site for which there were no dumping at all, he told journalists, but noted that he was not encouraging the public to dump garbage at the location. The other defense lawyer, Tom Tavares Finson, was adamant that the criminal charges should not have been laid against his clients. These three persons are not to have been charged under the legislation that has brought them before the court, he said. There is an alternative process in the legislation where, if it is believed by the authorities that a person is littering, then the person can be ticketed. To charge the person for a criminal offense suggests that there may have been some other motive in this prosecution. Dalrymple Filbert and her son, when approached for a post-ruling interview, stated that they had no comment on how they felt about the charge and eventual vindication. Champagny, however, said all accused persons are relieved. The court had heard that on the date of the incident, police were patrolling along Salem Main Road when they observed the three people exiting a Toyota Hiace motor truck and began disposing of garbage. The cops approached the trio and told them that the area was not designated as a dump site. It is alleged that Dalrymple Filbert scoffed at the cops, asking, "You know who I am?" She reportedly went on to tell the lawmen that she is a lawyer, Speaker of the House of Representatives, and Member of Parliament for Trelawney South. The court also heard that the police instructed the three to reload the garbage onto the truck and they complied. They were later charged at Runaway Bay Police Station. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.